Hello, and thanks for taking the time to find out a little more about the Land Rover Defender. More than any other car, the Defender defines Land Rover as a brand, and it's no surprise that this reimagining of the iconic vehicle took some time. The final design is instantly recognizable as a continuation of a line that began in 1948, but it is unashamedly a modern 4x4 with the latest technology, respectful of the past, but not shackled by it. The classic silhouette is completed with the spare wheel bolted to the side-opening back door. Alpine Lights bathe the rear of the cabin with natural light. There are two wheelbases at launch, a compact 90 and a capacious, practical 110. Form is still secondary to function. All-wheel drive and a twin-speed gearbox are standard. The move to an 8-speed auto a welcome refinement. All models tow 3.5 tonne. The 90 rides on coils and springs as standard, whilst the 110 is equipped with height-adjustable air suspension for a slightly smoother ride. Off-road demands dictate a high ground clearance of up to 29 centimetres, wading depth of 900 millimetres, and wheels pushed to the corners for class-leading approach and departure angles. A full suite of terrain response systems ensure that the Defender is always offering the best control and power delivery whatever the conditions outside. Certainly, with this new model, less expertise and effort is required from the driver to exploit the full capabilities of the vehicle. The defiantly upright body is more than 95% aluminium, reducing weight but also delivering the stiffest, toughest chassis Land Rover has ever produced. Other cars may seek to hide these underpinnings, but it seems entirely appropriate that Defender wears the chassis with pride, exposing structural beams as part of the dashboard, the powder-coated aluminium lending a cool, tactile texture. Elsewhere, the cabin continues a rugged, practical theme, with hard-wearing seat coverings, a rubber floor with flat door sills to allow a thorough internal rinse, and large, utilitarian storage areas. The seating configuration allows for 5 or 6 occupants, or up to 7 in the 110. As standard, you get a walk-through between the front seats, and you can choose to replace that with a centre console, which can incorporate a fridge or a folding jump seat. Now, it isn't a full-width seat, but it is the one that will take me straight back to my childhood, rumbling around the broken tracks on my uncle's farm. Alternatively, in the 110, you can specify +2 seats for the rear. You can't have these with the jump seat. And of course, the rear seats all fold flat to give you a large, practical load space. The technological heart of the new Defender is our new Pivi Pro infotainment system. Always on. As soon as you get in the car, the system is alert and waiting for your command. Pivi Pro is responsive, quick, and the whole implementation has a simple elegance. Climate control dials ensure that you don't need to go hunting in the touchscreen menu for the functions that you need most often. A quick press on these dials accesses heated and cooled seat controls. Press the fan button and the left dial controls ventilation. Press terrain response and dial round to select drive mode. It's a minimalist interface, but not one that has compromised usability in search of a minimalist ideal. And we're Land Rover, so we build a touchscreen you can operate with gloves on. Supplied with a 4G SIM, the connected system can update over the air, ensuring that system updates are applied promptly and maps are kept current. With voice control, setting the destination is as simple as reading out the address. Navigation. Take me to 33 Baker Street, London.
Setting destination.
Apple CarPlay and Android Auto are standard, and the integration of your phone can be taken further with the dedicated app, which allows remote lock and unlock, export of journey logs to an Excel spreadsheet, and remote start, which allows the Defender to securely de-ice and warm itself up, ready for departure in winter, and cool itself down before you get in for your comfort in summer. Wireless charging allows compatible phones to charge without plugging in. Surround cameras are standard and can simulate many different views around the outside of the car, like a remote scout checking the terrain for obstacles. You can even see the ground underneath the car to precisely position front wheels on off-road terrain, or save the alloys driving down a narrow street with high curbs. The optional clear sight rear view mirror uses a camera mounted on the rooftop antenna to give a perfect view that will not be obscured by tall passengers or large loads. Now clearly, the off-road capabilities will be tested in every review, but in many ways it feels like a foregone conclusion. When the best 4x4 company in the world sets out to make the most capable 4x4, of course it will perform. The revelation is perhaps more in the on-road drive, where there was substantial room for improvement over the original. Modern technology means that we no longer have to compromise. We can have extremely long travel suspension and a taut, comfortable ride that stays flat through corners. The air suspension has a system we call adaptive dynamics, allowing the stiffness of the dampness to be adjusted on the move, giving a more comfortable ride on a smooth, straight road, and a tightening up if you start throwing the car into corners. And it reacts really fast. The system sensors report 500 times a second. If you hit a pothole with your front wheel at 70 miles an hour, by the time the rear wheels are having to deal with it, the suspension will already have adapted to minimize the impact on the ride, always delivering the perfect balance of ride comfort and stability control. The electronic locking differential option brings with it torque vectoring, a system that allows for sharper cornering by applying the brakes to just the inside wheels and keeping the power on the outside wheels. Great for when you want to drive more enthusiastically. Whatever adventure you're headed for, the chances are you'll be getting some of the way on tarmac, and the new Defender handles that challenge just as well as any other terrain. Engine-wise, a 2-litre diesel is available with either 200 brake horsepower and a 0 to 60 time just under 10 seconds, or uprated to 240 brake horsepower with a 0 to 60 of 8.7 seconds. A 2-litre petrol offers 300 brake horsepower, reaching 60 in 7.7 seconds, whilst the top of the range X specification is treated to a silky smooth straight 6 petrol with 400 brake horsepower and 0 to 60 in 6.1 seconds. A range of engines matching the varied usage of our customers. Thank you for spending a little time getting to know more about the Land Rover Defender, capable of great things all over again. Further information can be found on the Land Rover website or YouTube channel.